Welcome to the first episode of the Real Serious Show. So, everybody knows for years I've had my own radio show, 17 years. And in the age of multimedia, we decided to take that a step further and venture into the realm of video. And so, this is the first installment of the new video version of the Real Serious Show. And it is only fitting that my first guest is who I affectionately call my evil twin. At midnight of the Savannah Derby Devils, Eenie Meenie, of course, is my evil twin's name, and midnight, of course, of the Savannah Derby Devils, who have been a constant and frequent guest of the Real Serious Show on WACJ 90.3. So it's only fitting that they were my first guest on this extended video version of the show. And I decided to call them in this morning because it just so happens their first game of the season is happening tomorrow, Saturday, April 22nd. And what better time to call them in and talk about it and get the word out one day before the game than today. So welcome, and thank you guys for being the first.
Thanks. Yes, thanks y'all.
So tell me about the preparation for this season and leading up to this first game, the excitement.
There's been a lot of preparation this season. We're still a relatively new WFDA team. WFDA stands for Women's Flat Track Derby Association. And we've been steadily working on our rankings. Last year, we started off really well, rankings were going up, and didn't end on the note that we wanted to end on. So this year, we're hoping to break the cycle and end in a much higher spot than what we started with.
And we've got a lot of new blood this season.
Okay.
We've got some transfers, we've got some new girls that show a lot of promise, and we actually have an old skater that returned.
Yes, I refuse. She's back.
Okay, awesome. So was that kind of the driving theme going into the off season? Is the last season ended on a little bit of a sour note?
Yeah, we're sick of losing. We're sick of having this great momentum at the beginning of the season and somewhere along the way faltering. I mean, you see it with all good sports teams. It happens, and we want the season to be different. We don't want to be the team that everybody just sort of brushes aside. We want to be the team that everybody's underestimating right now, so we can sneak in, defeat them, and
now,
use our rankings.
did injuries play a part in this? Because we all know that roller derby is a very physical sport.
It is. Last season we had some injuries, but we also had some transfers. Some of our really strong skaters transferred out before the end of the season, and it was a little weird trying to adjust at the very last minute.
Yeah, I missed the tournament last year because I dislocated my elbow.
Oh.
I missed 2 tournaments last year because I dislocated my elbow.
And because Eenie and I have worked together for so long, and so I see her on a daily basis coming in limping, different things and different injuries, and you dislocated elbow. What drives you guys to pursue roller derby? Is it passion? Is it a thrill for competition? Is it what because I mean, most people are like, man, forget that. I like my elbow just where it is. I don't want it in another location.
When I dislocated my elbow, at the time I wasn't thrilled. However, like a week later, I think, or 2 weeks later, was a tournament, and I was like, oh, I can just tape it up and skate, can't I? And then my doctor was like, no. So I think it's just I want to play. I played that tournament, the first tournament that I missed the year before, and we had won 2 out of 3 in that tournament. So I really wanted to come back and help out. And then our first ever tournament, I had to miss
Our
the
home
Summer
tournament.
Slam, which is coming up again this year, which I will be playing in. Hopefully all of us will be playing.
Yes.
But I think it's just I want to win. I want to get better. I started out horribly, so I want to prove that I'm not that little baby skater in my own mind. I don't think anyone else really cares anymore, or even remembers, except for my teammates. But it's just that competitiveness and the camaraderie, and some of my best friends are there. And like when they are out, it isn't the same.
So for people that may be seeing this for the first time, see you all for the first time, as Savannah Derby Devil, tell me about how each of you got started, and then tell me about someone that may be watching this that wants to be a Derby Devil or wants to learn to play roller derby. How can they get involved?
I started at boot camp, which we will have another session of coming up
Yes,
later
July.
this year. 2012. One of my really good friends, Fractious Phoebe, who's one of the skaters that transferred out, was a ref, and then she had joined the team. And then I had another friend who wanted to play, and I didn't have much going on. I wasn't exercising. I was like, okay, sure, and I can't skate. And I was horrible. But as camp went on, Edie was actually one of the instructors because she was on the training committee.
Everybody do push-ups.
Yes, and yeah, if you weren't in derby stance, you had to do push-ups. And then I saw how much fun they had and how tough they were. And I was like, okay, I can't skate, but I'm gonna practice every day for like the next 3 weeks and try out. And because it made me feel better physically, I had already started making friends. It was at a time in my life when I needed some extracurricular activity. I had finished school and I wanted to meet people, have fun, and not just be like a couch potato. So I encourage anyone who wants to have fun, push themselves, meet some amazing women and men, just to go for it. You don't have to be able to skate. I was one of the worst skaters in my class, and Amy was one of the people who taught me, and you can end up on the All-Stars.
And like Midnight, when I first started, I couldn't skate at all either. I started in 2006 in Panama City. There was a short-lived reality show called Roller Girls, which is about a team in Austin, Texas. It lasted 1 season. It wasn't very good, but it was enough to make me and a few of my friends go, well, this is something we could start here. Like, it's a DIY thing. Why don't we start it? So a few of us got together and we started the Panama City Roller Derby League. One of my good friends, Wyatt Riot, showed me how to do crossovers in an old parking lot and skates that I got for $4 at a garage sale. And from there, it's one of the few things that I've taken a hold of and run with because it's mine. Like, I don't have any other cousins who play. I don't have a sister or a mom or anyone who plays roller derby. This is the one thing that I have that's all mine. No one else in my family can compare me to anyone else because nobody else does it. And as an adult, it's one of the few things you can do that gets you out there and gets you meeting people that you wouldn't normally meet, because as an adult, your life just becomes work and sleep for the most part. You might have a book club or something, but it doesn't really get you out there. And this does. I have so many friends and so many connections all over the world that I never would have had if it wasn't for the sport.
Now there's a social benefit of it, but there's a huge health benefit to this.
Oh yeah.
For women are always saying, not just women but men too are saying, I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna get physically fit today. New Year's resolutions are being broken all the time over physical fitness. So this is a fun way to get physically fit. Tell about the health benefits that this brings.
It's great cardio for starters. It works on fine motor skills as well, which as an adult, if you read any sort of medical reports, the older you get, the worse your fine motor skills get. So this helps fine-tune those as well. Obviously, there's always a risk of injury, but there's a risk of injury in any sport, even, like swimming or going to the gym and lifting weights. You can injure yourself anyway. But it's also nice because you have encouragement. If you're just going to the gym and walking on a treadmill, there's nobody there encouraging you and giving you feedback on how you can walk on a treadmill better. But, 3 nights a week, I get to meet up with some of my best friends and skate, and we push each other constantly to be better.
That's awesome. Talk a little bit about the game this weekend and who you're facing.
Well, we are facing some of our favorite teams, actually. One of them is the Middle Georgia Derby Demons. We have known them since they started.
Yeah, we actually trained some of their earlier skaters. They came to our boot camp.
Oh wow! Oh wow! So yeah, it's kind of like the teacher against the pupils, and
kind of, yeah. But they've really taken the little bit that they started with and run with it
and blown up. Now they're coming back looking to pick a fight.
Oh yeah! They've already started it.
Oh yeah,
the past 2 seasons.
We play them at least once a year.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. They're really talented, and their sportsmanship. You just can't have a better group of girls to fight.
Awesome. Now the Savannah Derby Devils are not coming alone. There's a vicious group that's going to be in the crowd.
Yes.
That's returning to the crowd, should I say?
So the cheerleaders kind of went away. By that point, I had already made the team. We tried recruiting a few, but without that solid core, it didn't stick around. So Bam Bam had the awesome idea of the Demon Naughties.
Okay. The Demon Naughties.
Yes.
Demon Naughties.
Okay.
So she's been working on this group prior to the season, the last couple of months, and we haven't seen much of it. She's kept everything sort of under wraps. We've only seen little bits and pieces, so we're as excited to see what happens on that day as anybody else.
Awesome. So, like, people that watch this can see the personality and see how sweet both of you are. But, like, I've seen you guys change. Like, I've seen you go from who we see now to who was out there skating. And they're different people. Talk about the mindset that you have going into a game, going into a bout, and what clicks, like what turns you from who you are to Midnight and Eenie Meenie, because they're different people.
I don't feel like they're different people. I feel like, I'm always the same person. It's just different circumstances require different parts of your personality. And on game day, I have to be focused, I have to be calm, and I also have to be really aggressive at the same time. And there's a fine balance there.
And Eenie, I've seen you hip check people.
Yes, that's the aggressive part, but I'm still cool and calm.
Yeah, calm is definitely the key. Because there have been times, usually it's at practice more, honestly, than at during bouts where you lose your cool a little bit and then you have things properly. And so I think the way that we practice, we get all of that out. And then when it's game time, we're focused. It isn't about, okay, they hit me in the head when they weren't supposed to, even though that does happen. But you have to focus and just know I'm here to either score points, stop them from scoring points, and just get stuff done. And honestly, I just pretend that there's no one else there. At the beginning, I realize there's people there. Mainly, I just hear the music and I dance around. And then at the end of the jam, I get ready for the next one and try not to be too hard on myself or hopefully celebrate too much from the last jam. It's all an individual. Every single jam counts and it's not over till the end.
Now, you said practice gets a little bit more physical than bout, or that's where you get most of your aggression out. Now, I see all the time, I'm a big football fan, where like when training camp starts and practice starts, there's all these inter-team squabbles at practice and whatnot. Is that aspect included in Derby Devils? Do you guys get into it like that?
No. Like we might have a few moments where, well, at our last practice, we had one teammate who, as a jammer, she's coming into this pack of girls, and you're not supposed to use your hands to push anybody out of the way unless they're on your team. Well, she's very handsy.
Yeah.
And we were split up into two teams, and my team told me that she had punched them in the face. It was completely accidental, and we know that, and they knew that, but they wanted me to let the refs know that this had happened to them. So we have refs, we have coaches, we have people there to mediate, so it doesn't turn into anything.
Cool. That sounds like fun. So we have the return of the, let me get the name right. The Demon Naughties, that's right. Okay. I was about to butcher that. Because I was trying to include Derby in the whole thing. The Demon Naughties and game 1 of this season is this week. Now, how many games do you guys play in our Derby?
Well, all of our home games are double headers, so every home game is at least 2 games. This season we have this April game, we have the tournament, which we'll be playing multiple times during that. And then we have August and September that are regular doubleheaders as well.
Okay.
And then we also have a couple of away games.
Yeah, it's a very busy season. We're trying to be very competitive, like Amy said. We're that team that everybody's like, oh, they start out strong, and then so we want to get to where everybody knows the Devils are a force to be reckoned with.
Awesome. And the games are held at the Savannah Civic Center.
Yes.
What's the cost of admission?
For an adult, usually about $12. Children's tickets are $2. We also offer family packs and discounts for seniors, military, and students.
Awesome. So, and the boot camp is coming up in July for those that want to join.
Mm-hmm.
How do they register? Is there a registration process or anything for the boot camp?
There will be. We don't have it open just yet, but if they go to SavannahDerby.com, we have all the information on there. Brand new website, and it's all pretty and shiny and that kind of front.
Okay.
Check out the website. Yes,
What's the URL? What time for the website?
SavannahDerby.com.
SavannahDerby.com. Well, I want to thank you two for being my first guest on this version of the Real Serious Show. And as the show grows and continues to go forth, I hope you guys come back repeatedly. And this has been really exciting for me. I mean, I'm really glad that we had this first show together because I was nervous.